This video is brought to you by morethanArealestateagent.com, your number one source for real estate merch on the internet. Use code YouTube for 10% off your first order. What's going on, good people? It's your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor, and I am changing my regularly scheduled upload program for today because I want to drop some amazing news that will affect our buyer clients and the greater economy in general. So today, Mr. Romy Rome, as I like to call him, Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, has decided, after much concern about whether or not this was going to happen or not, to drop interest rates by 50 basis points. So 0.5% difference is what we have experienced today. So if you are a real estate professional and you're wanting to know, well, Marvin, what exactly does this mean? Let's talk about it. So what does a 50 basis point drop mean in the greater economy? What that means for now is, and I find it very interesting that they did this around election time, but again, I keep politics out of this channel, but it's very, very interesting that they did this so close to November. But what does this mean for us as real estate professionals and individuals that, again, keep our money in various places? Right now, in the coming months, depending on how this affects the greater bond market, we should begin to see money being a lot cheaper to borrow. So when you hear that the Fed has dropped interest rates by 50 basis points, does that mean that our buyer clients, if they want to get a loan today on the conventional or the FHA side, they're going to see a 0.5% difference between what they were paying in interest today versus yesterday? Probably not, at least for the foreseeable future. Let's talk the next 30 to 45 days. Typically, when you hear that the Fed has dropped interest rates, banks and other places that lend money usually follow suit, but it may not necessarily mean that it's going to be a 50% drop in whatever interest rates in. I've been talking with my lender team. They expected interest rates to drop at some point. They didn't know whether it was going to be 25 or 50. The Fed decided to go ahead and do 50 versus 75. And so they already priced in a drop in interest rates. If you watch videos from the channel, I dropped a video talking about interest rates currently being under 6% for a conventional and an FHA loan. So that drop was assuming that the Fed at today's chair meeting was going to go ahead and lower interest rates. And I am excited because it's a strong possibility that we could be looking at an additional 25% basis point drop over the next two Fed chair sessions. So we may in 2024 be looking at a full 1% drop in interest rates for the economy. So the reason that the Fed is kind of going about this in a very what's called dovish manner is because they don't want to spook people. They don't want to give any types of concern that we are a little bit too lax on inflation and the employment numbers, because those levels have begun to balance just a little bit, at least comfortable enough for the Fed to make this decision. But it could be a greater indicator of an optimistic outlook on the economy and where interest rates are going. So I'm watching this like a hawk, and you should as well. If you haven't talked to your potential buyer clients, you may want to get on the phone with them just to be that value add agent and let them know, hey, there's some exciting news that interest rates have officially dropped a 0.5% point, and that's a positive indicator that loans will continue to follow suit. Already, we've seen a record number of refinances happening over the last few days here because of where interest rates are going. So I'm excited as a professional because I want buyers to be able to get the best home possible at the lowest monthly rate. And obviously, a big portion of our mortgages are reflective of what interest rate we pay. So if you have not reached out to your potential buyer clients or even your sellers to let them know, hey, interest rates have dropped. So that means that more buyers are going to have the opportunity, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, to realistically get in the game for the purchase of your home. So maybe if they were waiting to see what happens with interest rates before they list, this may be a motivation for them to go ahead and start the listing process with you. If you're working with buyers, as I mentioned, and they have not been pre-approved, or it's been a while since they've been pre-approved, maybe see what this new drop in interest rates would look like for their monthly payment. Be that value add agent, continue to drive value. And again, this is exciting news for the greater economy, because when money is cheaper to borrow in a very tactical and, as they like to call, dovish way versus a hawkish way, that can be a good indicator of economic growth. More businesses will begin hiring. And Jerome Powell has talked about the primary reason for this drop is because they want to see unemployment go down. They want more businesses to be able to borrow capital at a lower cost so that they can turn around and hire more individuals and keep our unemployment numbers low as low as they should be. So I'm incredibly excited. Let me know in the comments below what this information means for you and how you're going to approach your buyer clients and your seller clients. Let me know in the comments below. And until the next video, this is your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor. But before you go, YouTube thinks that either this video here or this video here would be something that you would enjoy. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.